We're going to go with Candace Owens. We're going to go with Candace Owens. I think that's the most important story right now, because it's about Candace Owens being cancelled. And it's a sticky one. I haven't followed this and I haven't really been... I don't like Candace Owens. Let's just be blunt about it. I do not like Candace Owens. Of course I do not like Candace Owens. She's a right-wing grifter. But I think she has been quite pro-Palestine. And I think that might be why she's been fired from the Daily Wire, which is... and it's... I don't know if it's owned by Ben Shapiro, but it's... Yeah, all to do with Ben Shapiro. She's been fired from accusations of anti-Semitism. So I am watching HasanAbi's reaction to this, because I don't want to watch any right-wing people. I want to watch someone who I know gets it give a reaction, so that I get an actual credible take on everything that's going on here. Because I'm sure he's not a Candace Owens fan either. But I want to see what's the take on the anti-Semitism, because she's usually on side with the Ben Shapiros and all of that kind of stuff. So there's a weird thing going on here. And also she's recently been pandering to a lot of like black media and hip hop media, which is interesting, because Candace Owens actually started out as a left-wing blogger and then completely abandoned all her morals and went completely right-wing because she realized that's where the money's at. So is she just flip-flopping back and forth for whatever pays her, or what is she up to?
Talking about Candace mother freaking Owens, who is finally free, she says, after being ousted from the Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring's operation, the Daily Wire, has finally fired Candace Owens. Now, they fired her, according to TMZ, apparently, for anti-Semitism.
Candace Owens and conservative website The Daily Wire have officially broken up. Friday morning, the Daily Wire CEO, Jeremy Boring, posted on X, quote, "Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship." He did not give a reason on the circumstances that led to this shift. But earlier this week, the Anti-Defamation League highlighted the fact that white supremacist Nick Fuentes applauded Owens' rhetoric on Jews. Owens has been outspoken in her commentary about Jewish...
What has her commentary on Jews been? And she's been getting like applauded by white supremacists. That's wild. So let's like reflect on what's probably maybe going on here. Obviously, I thought maybe she's doing pro-Palestine stuff, and obviously people who speak about freeing Palestine and stuff like that often get accused of anti-Semitism when it's not real. But there are also people who are being anti-Semitic, right? She's a right-wing lunatic, and I often have to point out to these people, because there's a lot of people in the right-wing and racist white people space who seem to kind of attach themselves to this kind of pro-Israel stance, when actually, like, because they want to be anti-Muslims, really, when actually most of the time those guys also hate Jews. So it doesn't really connect. So if Candace Owens is saying something against Jews, that actually doesn't make sense.
People in politics, in the media, and her support for Palestine.
Regardless, based on her latest episode posted just yesterday, the news may have come as a surprise to Owens.
Look at that. That's Jessica Burbank, right? I thought she was a TYT.
I'm not going to go away. I'm going to use my God-given voice to talk about the things that are important for me. I'm just asking to be left alone, or at least just report the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today. But don't worry, because we will see you tomorrow for a brand new episode.
Anyway, the one thing I do want to mention about Candace Owens really quickly, a white supremacist through and through, by the way, make no mistake.
A white supremacist through and through. Tell them.
My position on Candace Owens has not changed and will most likely never change. She is a grifter. She is a white supremacist. She is the black face of white supremacy, 100%. Like her sole purpose for many, many years specifically was to let really racist white people feel a little bit better about their racism because a black woman was saying the same things that they're saying. So that's definite. Okay, that's something that everyone needs to understand. Candace Owens also was already an anti-Semite before she was hired at the Daily Wire. So make no mistake, she was not fired from the Daily Wire for anti-Semitism. She was fired from the Daily Wire for being pro-Palestine. Now, is she genuine?
That probably makes sense. Yeah, of course. Of course they would do that, is what I'm saying. But it also makes sense, like I said, that her being anti-Semitic could also fall in line with who she is.
In her pro-Palestinian emancipation, is this another way for her to launder anti-Semitic narratives? Maybe. Okay. I have not listened to Candace in such a long time. I don't know. I would suspect that it's probably not genuine because I think anti-Semitism is probably the more leading interest that she has. So just remember that.
The controversial right-wing commentator took to her own X account, posting, quote, "The rumors are true. I'm finally free," end quote. There will be many additional quote, there will be many announcements in the weeks to come. Owens joined the Daily Wire back in 2021. So a little bit unclear about what's next for Owens here. Very obvious she's not with the Daily Wire anymore, and that whether it was a firing or they had a conversation this morning that ended in them deciding to end their relationship, all of the language makes it sound like they broke up and that it was a
It's really interesting. Like what I've said so far, it seems to be the case of what's happened. Right, she has now fumbled the bag in the right wing space she aligned herself to. It relates to what I was saying before about these racist right wing people, right? White racist people I'm talking about, who align themselves to the Israel cause, because it helps them to weaponize something against Muslims. So she has aligned herself to this right-wing space with Ben Shapiro, who's very pro-Israel, right? Very, very very Islamophobic, you know what I'm saying, on that other side. So she's aligned herself with this guy because it has fed her and she's been paid for it because she's right-wing also and fits with him in so many different right-wing spaces. But her anti-Semitism won't actually allow her to hold on to the bag and to keep on side with him through all of this.
Romantic relationship. I was just saying yesterday to a friend that it might be the case that Ben Shapiro's keeping Candace Owens at the Daily Wire despite his pro-Israel views to show that even though there was reporting that was pro-Israel, hey, we had this other host at the Daily Wire that was saying something else. It seems
I'm gonna tweet out, Candace Owens was an anti-Semite before she was hired at Daily Wire. She was fired for being anti-Israel, not making an assessment on whether her pro-Palestinian sentiment is genuine or not. Ben Shapiro has openly defended anti-Semites because of their pro-Israeli positions. Does anyone have that famous anchor?
Interesting. So yeah, so he's saying it's okay. Ben Shapiro's actually okay with people being anti-Semitic, but he's not okay with them being anti-Israel. It's very interesting.
Coulter tweet. I will, however, celebrate and cherish any kind of drama happening in right-wing circles because it's awesome.
Seems that that's not a strategy at all at the Daily Wire, and who knows if it was their choice or Candace's choice, but curious to see what she does next.
Yeah, I mean, based on the fact that she said, see you tomorrow, that definitely suggests that the Daily Wire pulled the trigger and fired her. I think, people who have been following some of the internal feuding at the Daily Wire probably are not super surprised by this. It's definitely the case that Ben Shapiro was very troubled by her views on the Israel-Palestine conflict. He is obviously one of the most pro-Israel voices in conservative media, and they've had public tension around what she's been saying on her show. There was one...
Bro, Candace Owens literally said Hitler wanted to make Germany great, okay, before she was hired by the Daily Wire. Please, if anyone comes at me and goes, oh yeah, this is because of anti-Semitism, you can suck my entire cock, okay? You are literally the dumbest person on the planet. No, he didn't give a as long as she shut the up about Palestine. I will never, ever in a million years believe that Ben Shapiro gives a single shred of a about someone's anti-Semitic tendencies or anti-Semitic statements. Ben Shapiro, make no mistake, does not give a about anti-Semitism. In that tweet that I just posted in the chat, I showed you, he very clearly has defended anti-Semites. Ann Coulter tweets regarding Jews, awful, nonsensical. Ann Coulter is also super pro-Israel and always has been, so I won't lose sleep. Oh my God, a track. She said it was bad for Hitler to go into other countries. Maybe she applies the same principle to Israel. Yes, she does, except in the other direction, if that makes sense. She applies a similar principle. That principle is anti-Semitism. I believe that Candace Owens is 100% an anti-Semite, okay? Die in the wool, straight up anti-Semite. Are you saying Ben Shapiro was anti-Semitic? I think so. Yeah, I don't think that's like that. I believe Ben Shapiro is anti-Semitic in the same exact way that Candace Owens is anti-black. Doesn't give a shit. And just like he doesn't give a shit what happens to Jews in general, as long as white evangelical Protestants are on board.
Yeah, I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that
That's real, man. Yo, that's why I like watching this guy, because it gives me perspectives on all of this that kind of broaden where I'm already at. Yeah, like Ben Shapiro already operates in very white spaces. You know what I'm saying? Like very much white supremacist space, and white supremacists traditionally don't like Jews as well. They are traditionally anti-Semites. So he's already both Candace Owens, and Ben Shapiro are working in spaces that are majoritively against who they are themselves. So he can't really care about it that much.
it gets the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist, but if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted.
She's like, bro, what do you mean? Hitler wanted to make Germany great? So like the concentration camps for communist, socialist, trade unionist Jews, like the Roma people, disabled people, gay people. That's all fine and dandy, honestly. That's fine. He just wanted to make Germany great. It was an issue when he started doing Lebensraum, you know? It's like, why the would you want to live with Polish people? Dog, that's her take. Are you kidding me?
Everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German, everybody to look a different way. That's not, to me, that's not nationalism. In thinking about how it could go bad down the line, I don't really have an issue with nationalism. I really don't. I think that it's okay. It's important to retain your.
Again, I don't have an issue with nationalism while talking about Hitler's domestic policies is insane.
Your country's identity, and to make sure that what's happening here, which I think is incredibly worrisome in terms of the decrease in the birth rate that we're seeing in the UK, is what you kind of want to avoid. So I don't have I have no problems with nationalism. It's globalism that I try to avoid.
Between Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, Ben is right. If Owens, oh God, Jank loves handing it to like some of the biggest charlatans. I would be on her side, but that's not all she does. She repeatedly said over-the-top anti-Semitic tropes. She was trying to get fired from Daily Wire. Congrats, mission accomplished. Yeah, dude. Except she was hired by the Daily Wire after this video. So it's so weird. Why don't you have a Jank accent voice? What kind of voice or accent does he have? I'm strongly reconsidering voting for your uncle. Yeah, even all of that, he's still significantly better as the president in comparison to Brandon. But, you know, of course, brother. Is that good? Is that a good Jank impersonation? I don't know.
Point a few months ago where I believe she was trying to get Ben Shapiro to convert to Christianity or something along those lines, and there was this huge argument over whether what she said was considered anti-Semitic, and really just things started to unravel from there. But I think Candace Owens is going to be fine. It looks like she has her own website that she's encouraging people to go to now. I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to do a show on X, similar to what Tucker and Chris Cuomo are doing.
Of course, Candace Owens is going to be fine, and of course she's going to do her own show. And I said this last week, cancel culture does not exist. It only exists in the sense of fumbling the bag, and if you have your own platform, you can just continue. Nobody can cancel you. Cancel culture is another made-up concept just to create anger and hate from the right and get you all confused.
And Don Lemon attempted to do, and just go direct.
Can we count her as anti-Israel now? No, dude. I don't give a shit. I ain't count Candace Owens as anything. Okay, get the fuck out of here. Why I left the right coming soon? No, she's not leaving the right. You know what I think she's gonna do? And I do think that this is real. I've talked to people a long time ago about the Kanye West stuff that told me that Kanye West very much so was getting brain broken by the likes of Candace Owens into like this.
Exactly what I said at the time. Anyone on my Facebook and all that, exactly what I said at the time. And that's why I was so bothered by what was going on, because she was running him and he was just falling for it.
Weird Hotep route. That's what she's gonna do. She's gonna be like a full-blown Hotep Jesus type. I think that's what she's gonna do. She's not gonna leave the right. But it's like really odd because she's done so much anti-black propaganda. So I don't even know how she can like flip back and be like a right-wing, anti-trans, anti-gay, but like pro-black. I actually don't know.
But to be fine with a Jewish state, it's not anti-Semitic to point out that that is hypocritical. And Candace Owens saying that she feels she's fired, or feels that she was under fire rather before she was fired for telling the truth, and to make a statement like, I'm going to continue to tell the truth. People want to attack us for simply saying the truth. There are a lot of people who have reported basic facts about the situation in Gaza, things that have happened by the hands of Israel and the IDF, and they've been called anti-Semitic just for reporting what has happened. And so there's a solid point there. We've seen Mehdi Hassan.
Okay. But you have to recognize that Candace Owens definitely is anti-Semitic. Like, come on. Mehdi Hassan is not, but Candace Owens definitely is anti-Semitic. I wouldn't even bring up Mehdi Hassan and Candace Owens in the same fucking conversation, really.
Very moment where I think a lot of people are realizing just how powerful the American media is, but it's a bit mask off to be directly firing people that are doing the most reporting on Palestine.
Yeah, I agree. It is really unfortunate.
That's not why she got fired. Dude, I don't think... I do not think they fired Candace Owens for anti-Semitism. They hired Candace Owens when they knew she was an anti-Semite. That's crazy. It's like firing Steven Crowder for being racist. Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, what do you mean? You want to hire him for being racist? The going on? What has she said that is anti-Semitic? Someone said she praised Hitler's domestic policies and nationalism. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Oh, oops, my bad. The amount of leftists running some level of defense for Candace in the comments of TikTok videos of her saying pro-Palestinian things is wild. It's like a crazy lack of object permanence. No, they just don't know. Guys, propaganda works very well, and even on TikTok, and especially so on social media. If most of the things you hear about a person are not like all of their objectionable views because you literally developed object permanence in the last 3 years, okay, you probably didn't know that Candace Owens is like an anti-black, white supremacist, anti-Semite, and all those things. You probably only saw her cooking on TikTok with like pro-Palestine. That's it. So you don't even like think about it. This is the same exact reason why so many of my clips that make it to like Reddit After Dark or whatever have a litany of comments underneath it like, damn, well, I normally hate a song, but he really cooked here. And the take that they're saying that to is like a take that I've had for 10 years. So obviously it means that like people are motivated by the drama that they see, because actual politics is boring. So as far as the drama goes, especially when we're talking about like how young these people are, they have no understanding of anything. They just only have like seen this new feverish response that is this new like pro-Palestinian messaging that they recently got on board with. I mean, I'll take it. I am happy to see so much pro-Palestinian messaging on TikTok. It makes me very happy. It fills my heart with joy. But remember that a lot of those people are easily misdirected. It's sad to admit this as a Muslim, but it's like when Muslims ran defense for Andrew Tate after reverting. Exactly. There are actual Palestinians who are aware she's problematic, but appreciate this.
Yeah, the Andrew Tate reverting thing is a bit wild. I've got a lot to say on that, but I need to actually had a video. I had a channel I was going to react to because they were going at Paul Thorpe. It was a Muslim guy's channel. He was going at Paul Thorpe. I wanted to react to his video. I commented on it and he commented back to me. We had a little interaction, but then he had all these other videos about Andrew Tate, and I thought, crying out loud, that's what I'm saying. But I was going to react to that, but when I loaded it up, he deleted it, which is interesting. I don't know, and it's annoying because I didn't watch it. I intentionally didn't watch the video. I was commenting just on the headline.
She's been talking about this from the beginning. Beginning of what? October 8th? Or beginning since she started her political career? Because her as far as I know, was never really pro-Palestine before it became like infinitely more popular to be pro-Palestine. It's still not very not very popular to be pro-Palestine. Make no mistake. It has, however, gotten increasingly more popular to be openly pro-Palestine. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've actually never personally seen her come out with a take that I agree with, especially like a pro-Palestinian take that I agree with in the past. Anyway, wishing Candace Owens the absolute worst luck. We are talking about...
Yo, I don't know what I've loaded there, but yeah, big up HasanAbi. He always seems to get it right in my eyes. And I seem to learn a lot watching his takes on these kind of things. So yeah, Candace Owens, I should pick her up. Is cancelled for anti-Semitism. Interesting.